What's up? Tyler from Plugged On. I'm here with an album review. This time I'm going to talk about the new album from Fallujah titled Undying Light. This is their fourth album, the follow-up to Dreamless from a few years ago. Fallujah is a technical death metal band, and they've been around for a little while now with a few records, and they've definitely grown a lot over the past few years. If you listen to their debut, The Harvest Wombs, all the way up to their last album, and now this one, definitely a kind of a band that has changed a lot. I really liked their last album. I thought it was an interesting shift for these guys. It was a lot of good growth there, and a lot of great tracks on it. And I do like their first two albums as well. Really, really great. With this one, they got a new vocalist, Antonio Palermo. Alex Hoffman left the band. And now we got a much different style and feel for the band, in my opinion. So what I feel like they went for with this one is a little bit more of a different, more defined tone and atmosphere throughout the whole thing than technical crazy riffs in solos and all sorts of stuff. Not to say those things aren't there at all, but this one's definitely a little bit more about feeling, a little bit more about emotion, I think. And I think that's for better and for worse. In my opinion, I feel a lot of this album runs together really bad. And it's kind of hard to tell one song from the next at times. And especially upon early listens. It took me a long time, many listens, to really kind of get into this one at all. Because of that. And I think it's for a few things. One, a lot of the riffs have a same feeling to them. A little bit more about rhythms, building the atmosphere with the lead guitars on top of it. And I think at times it is beautiful. It works so well. But then other times it can really, in my opinion, just lead it to feeling the same. Another thing with that, I feel like the pacing on this album is a lot of the same throughout the whole thing. There are moments where it goes slower. There's moments where it's faster. But even then, at certain times when they have blast beats, for example, I still feel like it's the same exact pace that they've been going. So that's another thing. And then the last one is just Antonio's vocals. And I'm not saying he's not bad. It's definitely a different sound, different style, and I think that's fine. And I think it can be a breath of fresh air for this band. And I'm not saying Alex Hoffman was the greatest vocalist in the world, too, because there were definitely times where he had a more, say, monotone sound and less standout parts. But there's something about the vocals on this album that all just kind of just runs together. There's less standout, I guess, lyrical rhythms that could maybe get stuck in your head, where I felt like on Dreamless there was an improvement there where it's like, oh, now some of the vocals are getting stuck in my head. I'm talking vocal patterns, not the lyrics themselves. So that's maybe another thing. And I'm saying that I think there's several times where Antonio, his vocals are fantastic. Dopamine's a great fucking song, and he sounds fantastic on that song. The Ocean Above is one of my favorite tracks that he's on. Sanctuary really is a great performance. There's times where I'm like, okay, I can really get behind this. But I feel like all three of those things, just the riffs or the rhythms, the pacing, and the vocals, just really are so similar in so many spots that it kind of makes the tracks not stand out as much, right away or really at all sometimes. Now, there are moments that I really love, and like I said, going for a little bit more emotion, a little bit more tone, I think is cool, and I think it works. The Ocean Above is a great song, in one of the heavier songs on the album. And there's, when they come back to that really crushing riff, kind of about a minute and a half into the song, it is awesome. The production pops there. It sounds really great. Like I said, Dopamine's really good, that I like a lot. I love how it starts with just a melody of Glass House. I think is really well done. Sanctuary is one of the faster tracks with a little bit more classic Fallujah riffs to open it up. I think that's a great track throughout the whole thing. And Departure is a really cool song to end on, and overall one of my favorite songs as well. There are some cool tracks on here, but I honestly just feel it's just a different take on Fallujah, and it's a different direction. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's cool when bands do something different. But I think maybe the next one's when they get it. Or maybe I just need to listen to this more and more for it to click with me. Maybe it's just not clicking with me. It might be clicking with you, and that's cool. But when I say I want to listen to Fallujah, I can't see myself putting this on. It's not an overall just bad album. It just does not do much for me. It doesn't excite me that much. It doesn't get me going like some of their other stuff. And like I said, I think the atmosphere is cool. There's some great riffs, some chunky meatiness. I think from a more melody standpoint, especially on the guitar, this is one of the best that Scott Carstairs has done. And so there's good elements to it, but it's just overall just not clicking with me the way that I want it. But I'm very curious to hear your guys' take on it as well. Let me know what you think of Undying Light from Fallujah. Thanks for watching. See you later.